taxes are basically taxes that can be passed onto another entity or individual. It is usually imposed onto manufacturer or supplier, which then they will impose the taxes onto their customer. Everyone pay taxes, especially indirect taxes. It is because it is imposed on almost every product that we consume. Here are some of the type of indirect taxes. Whenever people go to the malls or department stores to shop, they are already about to pay indirect taxes. Goods such as household items, clothing, and other basic commodities are subject to such type of taxes. Upon payment at the counter, the final sale price is paid with a sales tax that the store collects and pays to the government. Ever wonder why imported products are expensive? It is because of customs tax. For example, when a container filled with bananas from another country enters the US, the importer pays indirect tax, which is customs tax, which he then passes on to the consumers.
Hi, I'm Muhammad Ajmi and I'm going to talk about what is SST.
SST is a service tax that is charged on taxable service provided by any taxable person in Malaysia in the course and furtherance of business. And what is sales tax? Sales tax is a single stage tax on imported and locally manufactured goods, either at the time of importation or the time the goods are sold or otherwise disposed by the manufacturer.
So, I will explain to you about the advantages of SST. So one of the advantages of sales and service tax is it is a single stage tax, which means that in the supply of change, only manufacturer will be charged with tax. So what will happen if only manufacturer that will be taxed is that the price will be lowered and also there will be increase in the consumption in the future. So many business will flourish in the future, and our economy will become better. So another advantages of SST is the number of exempted goods or item is quite a lot under these new indirect taxes. Another advantage of SST is sector like jewelry making and also tailoring are exempted from tax, which helping the small and medium enterprise in our country. Yeah.
I am Muhammad Zaim and today I'm going to talk about SST versus GST. Sales tax will only be imposed at the manufacturer or consumer level. Service tax is imposed to consumers who are using tax service. As for GST, tax imposed to each level of distribution, which are the manufacturers, wholesalers, retailers, and consumers, but the paid input tax are claimable by businesses. Some importers, manufacturers, wholesalers, or retailers fail to declare their taxes through transfer pricing in SST. However, for GST, it is able to curb transparency, misappropriation, and tax payment issues. SST rates may vary from 5%, 10%, or a specific rate plus 6% service tax. As for GST system, it is at one standard rate of 6% and it is not an added tax. More than 160 countries around the world have implemented GST.
So what is GST? GST stands for Goods and Services Tax. All the goods and services provided by the business will be imposed with a tax, with a rate. So the rate for our country is 6%. GST is considered as an indirect tax imposed by the government. This is one of the source of revenue for our country. But there are also exemptions for this GST, such as residential property, financial services, childcare and private education, healthcare services, and public transport services.
Hi, there are a lot of advantages of the GST. Firstly, GST is transparent tax and also reduce numbers of indirect taxes. With GST implemented, a business premises can show exactly
the tax applied on the sales invoice, and the consumer can know exactly how much they are paying for the product they bought or the service that they are consumed. Okay, and the second advantages of the GST is the GST will be more easier and comfortable, as various hidden taxation will not be present. And the most important part is it will increase the global competitiveness of your business. Okay, and the last advantages of the GST is the GST will eliminate double taxation under SST, where consumer will pay fairer price for good and the services compared to the SST, and it will face a greater transparency.
So, in conclusion, GST and SST both have their pros and cons. In terms of revenue generated for our government, GST provide a huge amount of revenue. But in terms of price of goods, SST help to reduce the price of goods and services provided by the business.